You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam, and I'll be your host and the GM for episode 6 of the Coldfire Chronicles. Our players are...
I'm Ross, I'm playing Agatha, a Marialan warrior aggressor. My emotional strength is pride, and my weakness is anger.
So Agatha, in a fairly short space of time, you've gone from knowing your place in the prison camp as the muscle to now being on the run and staging a prison break. Where's your head at the moment?
People are listening to Agatha's opinions on things. This is very unusual. Agatha feels equal. Very strange.
So it's the first time that Agatha's ever felt part of something bigger.
Also, Agatha does not know where Agatha is going.
I suspect that's not the first time for that particular experience, though.
That's fair.
I just get the feeling that every time you ask Agatha a question, Jaren should lean in and go, well, my friend always says to me.
That is exactly what happens, I think you'll find. It is, I help him with the difficult things like thinking and
syllables.
It's the fact that you can almost see the process bar run as Agatha goes, and all you've said is, Agatha, would you like some tea? And it's like processing.
Agatha would like tea.
Something it's a spinning indicator.
My name is Ed Fortune, and I'm playing Oberon Brick. He is a human seeker, hunter, and his moral proclivities are for justice, and his moral weakness is cruelty.
Oberon, you've spent a lot of your life as a hunter. Now you find yourself as the prey. How's that making you feel?
Invigorated, which again probably tells us that Oberon's a little bit crazy, but he's excited again because he's been bored for very long, so much so that he's almost snapped his pencil in excitement. So yes, invigorated and also a little bit worried for his own sanity.
And his pencils.
Hi, I'm Mim. I'm playing Larsa. She is a human sentinel artisan. Her strength is curiosity, and her weakness is obsession.
Larsa, your actions have now crossed the Rubicon. You have gone from merely aiding and abetting some inmates to outright criminal practices. You are, for all intents and purposes, now a criminal and a fugitive. How's that making you feel?
Aye, I've salted my soup, and there's no mistake there. Well, I never really thought about going this far. It's just there's my friend, and he's a good man. And I've heard some of the rumours about both sides, and I thought they're as bad as each other, but that vision, that 10th brother, and that feeling was awful. And because I know good men, and there are people who I don't know saying that this good man and these good people are bad and getting in trouble, I've got to do something. So I'm sadly being led down this path.
Hi, I'm Mikey. I'm playing Jaren. I'm a mystic advisor. My race is Chiss. My emotional strength is my enthusiasm, but my emotional weakness is somewhat recklessness.
Jaren.
Yeah.
You've made no real secret of the fact that you think the Force is not quite as a thing, as a bigger deal as Pyjack's been making out, as some of your colleagues have been making out. As far as Jaren was concerned, from what I've seen, he mostly thought that what he had was just very persuasiveness, and occasionally people were more inclined to believe him than otherwise.
This is true. I am naturally awesome.
Then you shared the vision of 10th Brother. How do you stand now?
Well, consider it this way, Mr. GM. I am surrounded by 3 other Force-sensitive peoples. They use their mystic powers. I have seen them. They are focused and linked to the Force. And I think I maybe have got a bit on my trousers. It's not me, it's them. They are making me have these visions. I don't know how to stop them, but I think once we escape the planet, maybe the visions will stop and everything will be fine.
So it's less space wizardry and more mushrooms.
Yeah. It is their fault. I am blaming all of them. But they're nice people. I like them. I especially like the ones who are helping me escape the planet.
When we last left our heroes, they had successfully infiltrated the Imperial base and were hiding out in the engineering and processing room. Larsa, having successfully broken them in, has provided them with overalls and costumes so they can blend more easily into the Imperial staff on site. As we rejoin them, they finish putting their clothes on and decide what they're doing next from here.
Well, I, for one, think that yellow suits me.
You can turn around now.
As long as no one looks at your hands, they'll think you're a worker, my dear Oberon.
That's what gloves are for, surely, and moisturising cream.
I don't want to highlight the Bodak in the room, but I am blue. They are not going to think I am an Imperial.
Pull your collar up, keep your head down, put this hat on. And here's a mask. Here we go, we can cover up most of you.
Cheer up, we're almost off planet.
But if we cover me up, then they won't be able to see me. You see my problem?
No.
What?
I don't get...
Agatha can't see your problem. You're wearing disguise.
I don't understand why you're so blue. We're about to leave this planet. It'll be great.
Now that's racist.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For once, I am speechless. Shall we get on with the rescue?
Right.
You know, Larsa, that from here, you need to leave the processing plant, take a hard right opposite the mess into the stores and machine room, and from there you can get into... It's the area where the stairs up to the first floor and also the turbo lifts are. On the first floor, opposite that room, is where the brig is. So it's pretty close to where you're heading. On the first floor as well, as I said, just so you know what's up there is the comms room and the control room, which is where messages on and off planet are sent from. It's where flights are scheduled from. It's the nerve centre of this base. There's Captain Artak's room, there's some guest rooms, and there's also the barracks and the armoury, where the stormtroopers that are based here and the guards that are based here sleep when they're off duty and where their gear's kept. It's never empty, the barracks. They work in a shift pattern. So there will always be, or there's nearly always someone in there. How many people in there, you don't know. You've never been allowed in for fairly obvious reasons. You're an engineer, you don't need to go in there.
I am not going to, because I don't think that these people have been here as much as me. I'm not going to tell them where the armoury is, because I don't trust, particularly Oberon, with a lot of weaponry. He seems very gung-ho. So while I describe the route that we're going to need to the most likely place where Hijack is, I am going to omit details about the armoury or where that is, other than saying, there's a locker room where the stormtroopers mostly are, and we should stay away from there.
Okay. Well, it's quite easy to get to where the brig is without having to go anywhere near that part of the base, really. It's out the engineering room, a hard right into the machine shop and storage, out into the room where the stairs and the lifts are, straight up to the first floor, then out, and the brig is opposite that area, because that's the quickest way to get you into processing. There is a way into the room with the stairs in that's also back into the garage area and that section where Jacob was, but that's maybe something to consider later on.
Right, shall we stealth out that way? You lead the way, you know where you're going.
Aye, but I think you should all be carrying something so it looks like you've got purpose, alright?
I pull out the data slab that I picked up from Pyjax.
That works well.
I still have my scanner.
Piece of metal, a screwdriver.
A comedically huge spanner that was in that room we've just been.
I find a hilariously large spanner, hold it by the wrong end until someone shows me the right end.
Going off the look on Mim's face, that Larsa rather rapidly shows you the right way to hold the spanner.
I look very pleased with myself that I now know the right end of a spanner. And yes, I've also got a duffel, and so I will again reconfigure the duffel so it now looks like a bag full of tools.
Can we see through the door before we go through it?
No, it's designed to be like an airlock, essentially, when it's sealed. So if there is any venting of toxic gas in here, it doesn't then get out and poison the base. But consequently, there's no blast screen through it.
With his normal levels of foolishness, I press the button, open the door, and start heading out.
Okay, you step out into the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear from the room on the left-hand side the sounds of a meal, because it's now coming on for an evening meal. The mess is clearly in use. Prinkle, who is the Chadrafan janitor, is out there still mopping, and at the sight of you striding out, because he's quite small, he can clearly see up under the cap to see your face. And he stops for a moment as he meets your eye, and then kind of starts looking a little furtive and nervous. Not in a I'm about to grass you up way, but in a ooh, you shouldn't be.
I give him the biggest grin I possibly can.
You're wearing a mask.
Can
he see the mask?
Well, he can see my face, so he can see the he can see the grin.
You can probably see his eyes, in fairness, and I get the
I
feeling.
only smile with my eyes.
Yes.
I need him to catch my eye.
Yep. Are you next out the door then?
I'm following behind this person. I know he looks like he's got authority, and I gotta say, I kind of respect you for that, but I need him to see me as well.
As you step out, Prinkle looks from Jayren to Larsa, to Jayren to Larsa, and then kind of seems almost frozen with a bit of indecision. He then carries on mopping so that there's no real break in the sound, while again shooting looks and worried head gestures towards the mess.
Subtly, whilst I adjust my jacket and make myself comfortable, he can see me gently gesturing with my fingers that I want a question answered, and it has something to do with numbers in that direction.
He slides his hand up the mop and flashes two fists.
Interesting question. On his race, how many fingers does he have per hand?
I was thinking it too.
He has 3 fingers and a thumb, so indicating 8.
With the confidence of a man who doesn't really understand consequences, I turn to the right and start heading towards the lifts.
Okay, so into the machine shop.
That's right.
The door is closed, but you open it up.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sound of the lock cycling and it slides open. And yeah, you step in. It's pretty dark in here. No one's been in here at the moment, so the lights have all been turned off. So the only light that's being cast is coming in from the corridor behind you at present.
Being a chess, I don't have much problem with darkness, so I'll stride it.
Yeah, there are light switches inside that you can see. As you walk in, opposite you and along the wall directly facing you are 3 pretty heavy-duty workbenches with vices and grips and tools, and the rest of the room is mostly shelving systems full of parts and tools and oil and the sort of thing that you need to keep everything running. There's cleaning supplies on the right-hand side in a locker that the door's open. You can see another mop and bottles of space bleach and that sort of thing.
I'm going to follow because, one, I trust Jaren and I think he knows what he's doing, but also because you can see better in the dark, the person you're disguised as, they're going to catch if you act too well in the dark.
Oh, he doesn't think that far ahead.
I'm sure he doesn't, but I need to. I'm going to switch the lights on myself anyway.
I'm going to pick up a mop.
Okay.
I'm going to back up the rear, which is typically what I do anyway.
Yep. Are you all then heading into the machine room?
We're all heading into the machine room, and I'm going to turn on the light switch, because it's quite normal to turn on a light switch, and I hope no one has noticed him being completely blasé.
Not at the moment, thankfully. It's not hugely bright. Over the workbenches, there's spotlights that can be angled down for a much better vision of what you're working on. Prinkle follows you in and shuts the door behind you.
Larsa, my friend, I did not think you would be coming back here.
We've come to get Pyjack.
He's upstairs. He's being kept in the brig. There's a few of the guards here. They are putting him to the question. I don't think they've been particularly gentle. I heard him grunt. Not scream. I've not heard him scream so far, but I have heard him grunt. He seems in pain. I can hear the punchings. They wouldn't let me in to mop the floor, and that is never a good sign when they're interrogating someone. They've closed it off. There's 2 of them outside with blaster rifles. I don't know what they think is going to happen. One of the squads is out there as well at the moment. They went out about 5 minutes ago, looking for...
Prinkle then moves his head to take in everybody else.
You 3. I don't know what you've done to stir the hornet's nest up, but you have agitated the Imperial machine, and I don't think they're going to be gentle with you when they find you. I don't think they're going to be gentle with any of us.
I can vouch for this lot. They're not bad people.
Well, they're sort of bad people. They are here. But then again, so am I. So, maybe I shouldn't be so quick with the brush, eh?
You know as well as I do that you can do something what's wrong, and it can also be the thing what's needed.
Well, that is why I'm helping you, my friend.
Do you know of any ships around the area?
No, there's been nothing coming. Well, I did overhear the captain when I was cleaning the comms room this morning. He radioed out. He told whoever he was speaking to, I think his superior, a Moff, that he'd found rebel sympathizers and thought that there might have been force users or something like that here. And he was told to hang tight and that somebody was on their way who knows how to deal with this sort of people. He's scheduled to be here tonight.
We need to get out of here. Sprinkle, my friend, my mopping buddy, do you wish to escape with us?
Yes. How can I help?
We need to find a ship to get off-world, after we've got Pyjack as well.
As far as we are aware, Pyjack knows where there is a ship.
First things first, we rescue Pyjack.
So we rescue Pyjack, and then we escape.
Are these disguises adequate for that mission? Is there a place where we can get better disguises? Stormtrooper outfits?
He's a little short for a stormtrooper, isn't he?
He's already disguised as the janitor.
He is fine. We will have to go to where the stormtroopers are, and there is a good thing and a bad thing about
That's
that.
a terrible plan. Let's not do that thing.
I mean, if you want to try to get the security outfits, then maybe there is the armory on the first floor, but the problem is if you go up through these stairs or through these lifts, where you come out is either into the comms room, where they might ask some questions, or facing the brig. And as I say, there's 2 guards out there right now with blaster rifles. Not even the pistols they normally carry to keep the peace. They've broken out the rifles. The only other way, maybe, is back into the the processing room, climb up the pipes and try to break in through the roof into the brig. I don't know. Or maybe we can try to distract them, Lhasa? I don't know. I could maybe go and spill my bucket on their feet. They might kick me a bit, but they shouldn't kill me. Maybe that could distract them quick enough for you to get up there.
I don't want to put you in too much danger.
I have an idea. We go towards the brig. There are 2 people there with the guns. I go first, and I say, "Hello, I am one of the prisoners. You will want to put me in the brig." They put me in the brig, and while I am being put in the brig, you go get the guns. Come and rescue me as well.
We have 2 guns.
Oh.
We could just shoot them. Stun only. I don't want to kill anyone. They're just doing their jobs. But we could just shoot them. We have guns. The problem is that they might raise the alarm.
Oh, I would raise the alarm if I was being shot.
These pipes, do they go directly into the room where he would be held, or do they go outside it?
Both. There is an air vent that leads up and then down and in to keep the air circulating. It would definitely be very, very cosy, but yeah, you could get into the air vent, basically through the circulation system, into the room.
If we're very lucky, which we tend to be, if there's a vantage point on the outside, I could shoot them when they're not paying attention. I have a rifle myself.
Okay.
Get me in there, get a vantage point, and I will... Well, it's not really configured to be a sniper rifle, but it'll do the job.
We haven't killed him yet. He's still alive, you say?
Last time I checked, I was up there about an hour ago.
What if I force them to move him? If we can make him evacuate that area, then there'll be some chaos, there'll be confusion.
There will probably be more guards, though.
But they'll be moving out of the way. There's only 2 of them there.
There's only 2 of them there now. The first thing you will do if you cause an evacuation in the prison is call more guards from the barracks.
No, you're right. I'm good with metal. I can't figure out what the best way is to deal with people, other than you wanting to shoot them.
Those are the solutions I have. I'm not very good with people. I'm quite good with guns.
Well, perhaps we can go and speak to them.
Go and speak to them, lure them out, and then I can shoot them.
It's all or nothing. We can climb through pipes until the cows come home, but we're going to have to.
They're almost certainly beating our friend. Our friend is almost certainly in pain. I have no intention of killing these strippers, but I have no compunction of shooting them. No problem at all.
So lift and direct assault? Yes? Yes?
That's the plan we have. We could go up through the pipes and then get into a vantage point, and then you could go and talk to them. That gives them enough distraction for us to shoot them.
I remember a story in which some people took the guy out of the room using the pipes. Someone went, "Ooh, there's no one in that prison cell." The guards opened the door up, and then they put the guards in the prison cell, and they all escaped. I liked that story. It seemed so simple when I heard it.
That sounds like a really good plan. Let's try that one. So
Okay.
hang on, we go in via the pipes, extract Pyjack, they go in, we go...
You knock the guards out and lock them in so they can't alert anybody else. Nobody comes looking for them for a while. They're stuck in there, and we've got the head start to take him out.
The thing I would say as well is there are 2 guards outside the brig. There will be people inside beating up our friend.
I hadn't thought of that.
I don't think there was many in there.
But there will be somebody.
I think I definitely heard 1 voice, maybe 2 at most. It's not a great big brig. You need room to work, otherwise you're just kicking a puppy.
Let's go through the pipes.
Okay, we go through the pipes.
Unless we have a better plan.
I tend not to plan. I tend to just react to things.
Show me where these pipes are.
I'm not going to leave straight away. What's the best way to get you with us, my dear friend, my dear Pringle?
Well, I could just follow you into the engineering room. If maybe, when you come out of here, if you're the last one in, and you shout loudly for me to come and clean up a spill, then if anyone hears, they won't think it's strange. And then I can just follow you into the engineering room, and I can fit through the pipes quite easily. I'm only small.
I love how your mind works. You know, someone would think you're a criminal.
Thinking just a little bit further forward.
That does not sound like a...
Sorry, Jiren.
No, it is fine. You think as much as you like.
Isn't there a garage with vehicles? I've seen speeders.
Yeah.
How many speeders do they have?
No idea.
There's 3 of them. One of them needs a little bit of work, but the guy's expecting me to do some work on it anyway.
So there's 2 of them. How many of us can fit in one speeder?
We can get 4 people on one speeder, depending on how large you are.
So if we steal 2, they can't follow us.
That'd be true.
Okay.
Alright. Oh my words, we're doing this, aren't we?
Yes.
I have a mop in my hand. It is pretty serious.
Again, Larsa for knowing the outlay of the basin for planning. If you go back down the room with the stairs and the lifts up, on the ground floor, that opens also into the garage, so you can get through there straight to where the speeders are, if you have to. How are you then going to get them out through the main front gate? That might be slightly more difficult, unless you can find some way of lifting the landing ramps or opening the front gate.
Would my pass do it?
It would not. It would open a door, but not wide enough to get a speeder out because you're not authorised to take out speeders. But again, you might be able to slice in or do a mechanical override, or Jaren could potentially persuade someone to throw the switch for you.
Does Jacob have access?
Jacob has access, yes, of course he does. He's a good card-carrying member of the Imperial Engineering Corps.
I'm sure if we ask very nicely, people will do what we want. Well, he has guns and he is very large.
I like Jacob.
Oh, no, we do not shoot him. But we keep that between ourselves that we're not going to shoot him.
This is overwhelming. Let's go before I change my flippin' mind.
See, this is the idea about not thinking ahead. You never need to change your mind.
Where are these pipes again?
They're in the engineering room that you've just come out of.
Okay, with the same sort
Pick
of
up
confidence.
something different if you were carrying something.
Nope. I've got them off.
Yes.
With the same sort of confidence I had before, I walk back towards the engineering.
As you open, I presume you're first out again, Jaren. As you open the door, can you please move me a dark side point to the light?
Oh, yes.
And as you open the door, there is one of the detention centre guards who is ambling out of the mess, looking reasonably full and quite pleased with himself. He wanders out, kind of sees you but doesn't quite recognise you to begin with.
Unless he actually talks to me, I'm going to ignore him and walk straight into the...
He does suddenly start to do a quick double take.
I knock something off a table and start cursing myself for being a little clumsy.
He shrugs. He kind of walks past you into the machine shop. Mm-hmm. What's that banging in here?
Well, you know me, I'm trying to carry it all at once. Can't stand having a man handle things twice.
He gestures his hand towards Oberon and to Agatha, who are doing what as this man enters?
I am trying to make busy on the bench following Larsa's cue, so I'm just... Literally, I picked something up again by the wrong end because I don't know what it is, and I'm looking at it as if I'm not sure what it is. As he comes in, I have pressed a stud, and it has started to move slightly, and I'm slightly alarmed.
Agatha?
I've unstacked something and I'm stacking something else.
And Prinkle is vigorously mopping. Right, well, keep it down. I'm trying to eat in there. I'll have none of this nonsense and loudness. And as for manhandling things, he gestures his hand, you got these fools. I presume you've dragged them up from down there.
Oh, aye. They don't even know what I need. I have to go and tell them what it is, point it out to them, and then remind them to remember to bring it.
Well, in that case, put their names down for punishment duties. We'll soon whip them into shape.
Aye, that you will.
And he turns on his heel and he walks out. J-Ro, I presume by this point you've scarpered into the engineering room.
Yeah, he's looking behind him like there's nobody with him. So.
The rest of you see him walk out towards the lifts.
I very quickly, though, walk over to Oberon, take the thing in his hand, put it the right way round, and then put it down, away from him. Very purposefully. Let's go.
Is it supposed to be on fire?
Just leave it.
Okay.
Just leave it. Leave it. Put it down.
You head out, you return to the engineering room. Again, it's very loud, it's very noisy. The air venting pipes, you can get into them. What you will need to do is set it to basically go on a maintenance cycle which lasts for 25 minutes and involves bushing and bashing and beeping to let you get in and out. Normally this is why they have creatures like Prinkle and other small people, so they can send them into the pipes to clean them out without a decent ordinary human having to risk their life and limb in there. But obviously that's not quite the plan. I'm going to want from you to shut this down properly, either a mechanics or a computing test.
Let's do it mechanics, the old-fashioned way. Let's roll up the sleeves and pull some levers.
Okay, it's simple. So it's only one purple die. I am going to give you a black die, however, simply because, once again, it's quite an oppressive environment. You've now already nearly been caught once. And again, I think for Lass, this is probably... It's causing her an amount of mental anguish at the moment.
I'm living the dream. If that dream were a nightmare. Right, I'm going to remind you, you have got about 25 minutes. No dilly-dallying, no lollygagging. Don't let your tongue wag too much, Jaren.
I have hardly spoken since we got here. It is very difficult for me.
And you, Agatha, just shut up. I don't want to hear the peep out of you.
You do go on.
Only kidding, my lover, it's fine.
Agatha, sorry.
Alright, here we go. Ready? Okie dokie, so all together, we have a triumph. Woo! Which is really nice. One success and a triumph.
So is that two successes, one of which is a triumph?
One of which is a triumph. One success and one damn good success.
All right, well, yes, you managed to shut it down. What would you like your triumph to be?
I'd like the triumph to be the time limit is extended. We've got more time, we can be more relaxed, and no one is going to find this suspicious at all.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, so who's going in the pipes?
Oberon would like to go into the pipe.
Okay.
Anyone else going into the pipe?
I will follow after.
I reckon, should I stay at this end for when you get back, in case something happens?
You're the legitimate one of us.
Aye.
Are you not coming with us?
Well, you're going into a locked room, I believe. This is the way back out as well.
Oh, okay.
Unless, are you planning to go straight through the door as well?
No, I thought the plan was to get to the top, deal with any guards in that room, drag Pyjack out through the pipes, and then leave.
We could do that, yep.
Alright, in that case, I still think it'd be best if I can stand near some control consoles. I might be able to do some help from this end.
You stay here then.
I think it's a tight pipe, and Agatha will probably stay here with you, just 'cause
In case someone gets in the way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... If everyone's going to go up through the same pipe, then everybody's going to climb back through the same pipe. It's the more... I'm probably the
I don't know,
one in
they
there.
might need your strength if something is going down there, you know.
Also possibly the best in close quarters as well. So
Also, you're the best at opening doors, apart from, Arthur, who opens doors properly.
I don't think I've got the door to the prison cell.
well, so far I've been... I have got some shotgunners, which might be good for panning on doors, but on the other hand...
I get to come with us.
Yeah, okay.
What I should probably say at this point, again, just for a bit of transparency, is your rifle, Oberon, is too bulky to get through the pipes.
Oh.
Your pistol can. The blaster pistol that Lars is currently hiding for you, but your rifle isn't going to be able to bend through the pipes like a person can.
I will ask Larsa very nicely.
You take the pistol, I'll keep the rifle for this end.
Okay.
Alright, so...
I think I might want to take that huge spanner, though, because I think it might be useful to hit people with.
Yes, apparently it's this end that you hold it up.
Agatha knows which end of a spanner to use.
Okay.
I'm going to want an athletics test. It will be a group athletics test because you're all going up en masse, and it makes sense that you either fail or succeed as a group. So it's whoever's got the highest brawn and highest athletics.
That's going to be me.
I think it is, and also you've got your force power that adds this one.
Right.
Basically, you roll a force die in with your power pool, and
Okay.
you can spend any pips that come up as either more successes or more failures. You're going to get a blue dice each from Oberon and from Jaren, but you're also going to get a black die each from Oberon and from Jaren, and a third black die because this is tight, it's uncomfortable, it's noisy, it's very claustrophobic, you're quite big. It's not an easy way of going through this.
Can I add anything into this? Because I'm not trying to get in, but I can give him a leg up, I can grease him up.
You can have another blue die.
Okay.
It's a nice meaty dice pull, that.
I have lots of dice.
Rub the grease on yourself.
How I envisage this kind of working, to be completely honest, given that Agatha was the one going last, I suspect that Agatha is using his force-given meatiness to shove Oberon and then Jaren in the pipes first, and then we'll just be clambering along at the back.
Yes.
Don't worry, you'll get a chance to make your stealth roll in a moment, Oberon.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure that's reassuring.
It's just the self and his innate ability to see things coming, and he's like, I didn't see this coming. I didn't. That hand is there. That hand is also there.
I have 5 successes and a force point. A light point.
Crikey.
You fire them like a bullet out of a gun by pushing them lightly.
Well, we're also lightly greased, aren't we?
You can use that light side point for either another success or an advantage. What I might recommend is I don't think you need any more successes, to be completely
The
honest.
advantage sounds alright.
So maybe to give Oberon a blue die on his impending stealth test
Sounds sensible.
as you slid him down the pipe like a ferret hunting for trousers.
Hunting
Greasy
for trousers.
ferret.
Yes, obviously.
Not hunting in trousers.
Well, no, trousers don't have pipes in.
Ferrets don't wear trousers.
Yeah, and if your trousers got pipes in, then they're not... I mean, it's drain pipe trousers, but, I mean, come on. You're being a bit literal there. Okay, but yes, you boost the group up. It's a tight climb. It's quite claustrophobic. It's very uncomfortable. Luckily, Lass has managed to make the way as easy for you as possible. And Agatha's just monumental strength is propelling you all up there and giving you a confidence that really, even if you slip and fall, he will be there to stop you and to save you. It's quite comforting, really, I suspect, having someone get your back that absolutely.
Oberon makes a mental note that if he ever returns to Canto Bight, that he will try the luge.
And Oberon, you're heading up first. I want a stealth test, but I only want it from you, because really, as the first person up there, it's not like the climbing. This really does hang or fall off you.
Okay, so what's How many dice do I have in...
It is 1 red and 1 purple. You do get a blue die from Agatha's assistance in yoinking you up there so quickly.
Okay, so I have made 1 failure and 3 advantage.
1 failure and 3 advantage. Okay. As you're climbing through the pipework, essentially you get to over the cells. You can look down through the grid. Hanging from the ceiling, suspended by binders and chains, is Pyjack. He's been stripped down to his underwear. He's slumped forward, if not unconscious, then close to. His beard has largely been burned off short, and he's absolutely covered in bruises. There are 2 prison guards in there, one of whom is wearing a set of shock gauntlets himself, and he has got a clear sweat on him from where he's been laying into Pyjack. The other guard is at the back with a data slate, taking presumably notes on the questions they've been asking. As you kind of crawl over there is the very worrying creaking sound as your weight enters the pipes, and they look up and they see you in the pipes. The one on the data slate moves down to hit a button on his data slate.
I've totally failed, but I've got 3 advantage. So the way I'd like the scene to go is I'm sliding like a greased monkey down the pipe. It creaks. I see them. They see me. Stealth has totally failed. Now, when I tell the story in it, of course, it's total stealth maneuver. But I slit uncontrolled and land straight on the data slate guy.
And as you topple out of the vents, taking the data slate guy down to the ground and knocking the slate out of his hands, as the prison guard with the shot gauntlets turns round to face you, as Pyjack groans and opens his swollen bloody eyes to observe you. That's where we're finishing for today. Will our heroes save their mentor? Will our heroes get into the room before Oberon gets the criff kicked out of him by Agatha's opposite number? Will our heroes even make it out of the prison cell, let alone out of here with Pyjack? Will Jaren actually get to talk to someone and speak their way out of a problem before the rest of the party rush in and beat them to death?
Will this closing credit ever end?
Find out next time on Force Majeure. Thanks for listening. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. You can find us on Twitter at Force Majeure Pod, on Instagram at Force Majeure Pod, on email at forcemajeurepod@gmail.com, and our website at forcemajeurepod.com. If you're enjoying the show, please let us know. Talk to us on social media or drop us a review. We'd be very grateful. It lets us know that we're telling the kind of stories that you want to hear. Our intro music is Actionable by Ben Sounds, and our outro music is Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. An amount of the sound effects and ambient sound in our show is provided by Sirenscape, because epic games deserve epic sounds. For episode-specific attribution for some of the music used, again under Creative Commons, please see the individual episode descriptions for details. Thank you very much, we hope you're enjoying the show, and we'll catch you next time.